Hello, MFC fellow compatriots. It is time for the commissioner's end of the season, end of the regular season thoughts. And you're going to get this email, but I also decided to make a video out of it. You see me wearing my cheese head and my Packers hat because I'm a Packers fan, even though they probably aren't going to win it this year. Anyway, here we go. Great season, everyone. Now that the regular season is over, just a few thoughts to cover some things off. If you did not make the playoffs, do not make any more changes to your lineup. They are considered locked. You can no longer add players. You can no longer delete. This will be the same for each team that gets knocked out of the playoffs each week. Your lineup is considered locked. You can't make any more additions or changes to your lineup. Also, I've decided on the keeper rules for next year. We will be keeping 2 players once again. This time, the new thing is you can't keep your number 1 or your number 2 team. We need to just have more top players available in the draft. And even if you decided to keep less than 2 players, you still can't keep your number 1 or your number 2. As I look back to the second round of this year's draft, I don't think it's going to be a problem or upset anybody because many of those guys ended up being jokers anyway. Also, huge shout out goes to the 2 new guys in the league. Sam almost made the playoffs, and he pulled off 6 wins in his first season in the league after starting off 0-2 and 1-5. You did not want to play Sam near the end of the season, trust me. Also, super huge kudos to Rob, who made the playoffs in his first year, and it was in stunning fashion. He started the season off 0-3. We were all laughing at him, thinking he was just donating his money to us. And he was a boy playing amongst men. Now he's proven like he's somebody to deal with. Now, for the What on Earth Happened section. Phil started out 3-0, but ended up losing 4 of his last 5. He missed the playoffs once again. What on earth happened? He talked all that trash, but failed to deliver once again. Typical Phil. And Carlo, wow. This dude goes almost the entire season getting a 10-point fee penalty for not paying his money until the very end. That cost him 1 game for sure, and it could have cost him 3 more. He sneaks into the playoffs with a last game victory that sent a 2-time champion packing. Second season in a row he's done this. Oh, and he wins his division in the process and pockets $50, all while never winning more than 3 games in a row. Dude, what on earth happened? Alex. No words, man. What an emotional roller coaster of a season. Dude started out 0-3, was petitioning to change the league rules, and then he won 3 in a row. He was dealing with the failures of Andrew Luck and the Colts offense. All of this hurt him, and he still almost made the playoffs. And it had not been for Eli Manning going nuts on the last Monday Night Football, the regular football game of the regular season, he would have made the playoffs. Damn, Alex. The last time this dude was in the league and didn't make the playoffs was 2005. That's like 100 years ago. Damn, what on earth happened? And Garlo finished number 5 in the power rankings. Death Dealer finished number 9 in the power rankings. In fact, between the 2 of them, they won the high score 4 weeks, but neither made the playoffs. Matt's team looked deadly at the start of the season. And then they had 2 different 3-game losing streaks that kicked in, and it was a wrap. This man is the 5th highest scorer of the league and is not in the playoffs. What on earth happened? And Eisenberg, dude, what on earth happened? He had such a fantastic first year. He almost won it all last year. He even started out 2-0 this year. Then he lost 4 in a row. Then he lost 4 of his last 6. And at insult to injury, he gets knocked out on the last game of the regular season by this year's new stud, by 0.4 points, no less. That's just so wrong. Then there's the entire craziness that was the working stiffs division. Up through week 12, it was never more than a 1-game lead for anybody. At that point, David took a 2-game lead and looked like he was cruising toward a division title, when lo and behold, here comes 2-time defending conference champion Derek to sneak out the division by virtue of a 5-1 division record and an overall number 1 seed in the conference. What on earth happened? And I have no idea what on earth happened to Newt. He was 5-0, 5-0, or 5-0. The last unbeaten team in the league, held a 2-game lead in the division in the middle of the season, was scoring at will. Then, bam, he lost 5 in a row to go 5-5. Maybe the most shocking fall from grace in league history. Then he lost his last 2 games and lost the division by a whopping 3 games, but he still snuck into the playoffs. And Lenny, my little brother, there's just literally no words. Lenny had the number 1 pick in the draft in 2013, Ray Rice. He finished 3-11 that year. He had the number 2 pick in the draft in 2014, LaShawn McCoy. He at least finished 6-8 that year. This year, he had the number 3 pick in the draft, Jamal Charles. Finished 3-11 this year. It looks like Lenny needs a new strategy altogether. Either that or start donating $100 to the American Heart Association or something. Wow, man, there are no words. He lost 8 straight at one point. He couldn't even play spoiler down the stretch by trying to knock somebody out of the playoffs. Unless you count Mike, who he beat. What on earth happened? Then there's Mike, who I really don't know what to say. So much inconsistency. Lost 3 in a row, then 4 in a row. Still only missed the playoffs by 1 game. What on earth happened, Mike? Now for my frenemy, Jason. He didn't make the playoffs last year. He started 1-2 this year. The stats and the rankings that I put out early in the season were looking terrible. Like he was about to have a 3 or 4 win season. I was laughing at him. And then boom! He won 7 in a row. Led the league in scoring. Despite only winning the high score 1 time. And is looking like he's positioned himself to win his 3rd championship. What on earth happened? Then there's your defending champ, Dan. Lacuna started at 1-3. He was talking about plans for next year already. Then he ran off 6 straight games. He's the 4th highest scorer in the league and looks like he is positioning himself to become the first repeat champion in league history. What on earth happened? And then finally, there's yours truly. I was languishing near the bottom of the rankings for most of the season with a so-so record and barely squeaking by most weeks. And then voila, my points against in the league means guys scoring against me each week is the lowest in the league, telling me that people must bring their C game when they play my team or something like that. I don't even know how I ended up with a tie for the best record in the league. And I was 1 last-second Jordan Matthews touchdown against Carlo away from having the best record in the league. I literally do not know what on earth happened. To continue at this pace will take yet another miracle in the playoffs, but we've seen crazier things this year. That's it for my end of the regular season wrap up. The playoffs are about to start. It's about to get crazy up in here. I want to wish everybody luck who's in the playoffs. If you didn't make the playoffs, we'll see you next year. Peace out, everyone. This is the commish. Peace.